Hey guys, so we're going to go through a basic breathing tutorial in this video. We are going to take a look at a basic diaphragmatic breathing exercise. We're going to go through 2 or 3 points to help you just understand that breathing technique in your body and connect to your pelvic floor and your core, your abdominal muscles, because your core is like the whole thing. We're going to have a little feel of what the diaphragm or the upper abdominal muscles are doing and just practice getting that breath nice and balanced. Okay, so let's get started. You're going to have 2 pillows. You want to have 2 pillows. You can do it on a yoga mat on the floor or in bed. You want to have a pillow under your shoulders and then another pillow under your head. Okay, so I'm going to lie down like this. Okay, so I'm going to show you my belly so that it's easier to see what's going on. 1 hand on your chest, 1 hand on your belly. Now, take a nice big breath in. Don't think about it too much. Notice where you feel the breath going to, because a lot of you are going to feel this. The breath goes right up into the chest and nothing goes into your belly. So we're going to try, and I've got this little thing on my back. So we're going to take a couple of breaths, try to bring it down into the abdomen first of all, into that hand on the abdomen. Okay, so a nice big breath in. Cool. Okay, so a couple more of those. Nice big breath in. Try and bring it down here into your tummy. And breathe out. Okay, so that's just the first way that we start to bring it down into the abdomen. What you might notice happening is this. Okay, or if I switch hands so you can see it better. Okay, that's just belly breathing. Okay, that's just breathing down into the tummy. There's nothing going on up here at all. Okay, we don't want to overcompensate and do that. Again, it's not dangerous or whatever. It's good to be able to do all of these different things. But a lot of people find it really hard to just connect to that really balanced breath. Okay, so breathing in. So what you can do now is put 1 hand on your ribcage, 1 hand on your belly, and just take a couple of breaths into both the ribcage, the lower ribcage, and into your tummy. Or if I switch hands, you might see that better. Okay, do you see how all of that expands? The belly expands outwards and up and downwards, okay, and forward, and the rib cage also expands out and then back in, but it's not up here. The pillow is to help you kind of bring your rib cage down a little bit, because a lot of us find it really easy to flare our rib cage up. Okay, so that's just a basic trying to bring it into the abdomen just a little bit, but trying to keep it balanced, not too much into the chest and not too much into the belly. The next thing we're going to do is just pay a little bit of attention into what's going on in our diaphragm or / upper abs, because we can't really differentiate which one is tight, if there is tightness in it. Okay, well, what you're going to do is getting to your rib cage, finding the bottom of your rib cage. You're going to tuck your fingers under the rib cage. Okay, when you're nice and relaxed, you should be able to, I can show you here, you should be able to tuck your fingers under the rib cage. And if it's really tight and you can't get your fingers under at all, then either your abdominal muscles up here are really tight, or the diaphragm, which is at the bottom of your rib cage, is really, really tight. For most of you, that'll be fine. If it's really rock solid, you're going to just practice taking a few breaths and just relaxing, and trying to relax it a little bit. And some of you might find that a little bit sore as well. Okay, so what we're going to do is this is also just an awareness exercise to help you understand how the diaphragm works in the breath. So with your fingers sort of tucked under the rib cage, maybe you can just do it on one side if it's uncomfortable. You're going to take that nice big breath in. And what you'll feel is that your fingers kind of get pushed out from under the rib cage, and then you're going to breathe out. The diaphragm relaxes back up and in, and the fingers go back underneath the rib cage. Okay, so a nice big breath in.
fingers come out, and then you breathe out, fingers go back up and into the rib cage. Okay, if you might feel a couple of things. You might feel like really, really tight up here and there's no movement. You can't get those fingers in at all. Or you might feel this. You might be able to get your fingers under your rib cage, and that's fine. And then you breathe in. And then when you breathe out, you do this. Okay, see how I kind of press down and breathe, and I press down, and then I end up sort of rounding my back or squeezing my bum in order to kind of squeeze the air out. It shouldn't be about squeezing the air out. It should be, the in-breath should be an active descent of the diaphragm, and the out-breath should be just an active descent of the diaphragm, and the abdominal and pelvic floor muscles expand and kind of stretch a little bit as the diaphragm contracts down and pushes all the abdominal organs south. And then as you breathe out, it should be a relaxation of the diaphragm, and the abdominal muscles and pelvic floor just relax back to where they were before. Okay, so we're going to practice that a couple more times. One hand on your lower belly, one hand onto your rib cage. You can take a nice big breath in and just relax that down like this. I'm going to show you from another angle that can be really helpful. Okay, so this angle can be really helpful. You can stick your fingers under your rib cage like this, and that, you see on me, I've got quite a bit of space under there. I used to be a real sort of like diaphragm upper ab gripper, and it's nice and soft here. Okay, and then as you take a breath in, everything expands and the fingers get pushed out, and then as you breathe out, okay, rib cage comes back down, tummy comes back in, fingers go back up into the diaphragm up here. Okay, so nice big breath in. And okay, nice big breath into the tummy. And what's not happening is, okay, see that forceful breath out? That's not what we're aiming for. We're aiming for a nice gentle breath in, and then as we breathe out, everything relaxes back in and up.
Okay, so that's it. That's a basic breathing tutorial. It's just a basic diaphragmatic breath. It's not my invention. You know, people have been taught, yoga teaches this. Like, it's talked about luckily lots and lots of people are talking about the importance of breathing, especially in the context of pre and postnatal exercise. This is just a really helpful, the fingers into the diaphragm. I haven't seen anyone else talk about that, but I have found that that's been a really useful technique just to notice any tightness or unnecessary tension, and to also just gain understanding about how the diaphragm works and how that abdominal canister works and how the breath works. I've seen lots of trainees sort of really understand their bodies and really understand the abdominal canister through that technique. So it's by no means sort of like the only thing out there or the only way to approach diaphragmatic breathing. But it's just a really handy technique that I found for learning about this stuff. I really hope you enjoyed that little breathing tutorial from me. You might be wondering, what's the point of all of this? Like, why breathing? Why does it matter? Well, breathing, in my opinion, and in the whole world of postpartum fitness and rehabilitation, it's something that we're talking about a lot as a really, really, really powerful tool to connect to the pelvic floor, the abdominal muscles, all the muscles of the core, and check that it's a balanced system, okay? Diaphragm, pelvic floor, and abdominal muscles. This coat canister, this closed pressure system that we have. So it can be a really powerful tool in connecting to the pelvic floor, strengthening the pelvic floor, ensuring that we're not putting unnecessary pressure on the pelvic floor. It can be great for releasing tight muscles in the pelvic floor. It's also fantastic for connecting to all the abdominal muscles, whether we're after C-section, if we have diastasis recti, or if we simply have weak muscles after giving birth. which almost all of us do. The muscle gets so stretched out during pregnancy. So whenever we talk about effective core training, we need to be talking about breathing first. We need to be talking about connecting to the abdominal muscles through the breath first, and learning how to how to coordinate all the muscles of that team, so that on the in-breath, the abdominal muscles are getting stretched out, and on the out-breath, they're contracting back in and up. This is the first way that we get them working a little bit all the time throughout the day. It's a great way to get blood flow to that whole area, especially if you've had a C-section. And it's just a great way to sort of balance the whole core. So if you want to continue this journey of building core strength, this is always the starting point. You can join my complete postpartum program. It's just $35 a month. And you can work all the way through from this breathing, connecting to the breath. And I have this fantastic core program of 5 levels that takes you from simple exercises, simple movements that just allow you to connect to the abdominal muscles through the breath and start to coordinate movement into that breath. From there, we build a strong base and gradually increase through level 2, level 3, level 4, increase the level of the exercises, and they get harder and harder as we move along until level 5, when we're doing really challenging core exercises, and you're really going to feel the difference in your abdominal strength, your core strength, from that level 1 to level 5. It's totally accessible for everyone. If you feel really weak, if you have a really severe diastasis recti, you can start at level 1. If you are feeling a bit better than that, you can start at level 2 or 3, and you just gradually progress through the exercises. Just 10 minutes or 12 minutes. All the workouts are 10 to 12 minutes long. And just 2-3 times a week, every day if you can. It's totally up to you. It's totally flexible, and it's also combined in with with mobility and strength exercises, so that you can work on the rest of your body as well. So if you do want to work systematically and build core strength, and strengthen your abdominal muscles, this is the program, this is the most logical program out there to do that systematically. So if you're interested, check out the details of the Complete Postpartum Program, click on the link probably below and check it out. Let me know if you have any questions, and start on that journey to core strength, to healing from C-section, to healing diastasis recti, and to healing your weak abdominal muscles after pregnancy and birth. I hope to see you on the inside.